been able to stop his attacks. But this time he somehow becomes stronger and defeated our army at the Krazoa Palace.
Right, a bad guy. But how did the planet get in such a mess?
Within the Krazoa Palace, he broke the seal
Is this...
of Ghost Point temples.
Is this really happening? It's just going on and on, isn't it?
A force so strong that it is continually...
Shut up. Oh my god. So, I've been trying to start working on some technical improvements. I've been trying to start for an hour. I'm not even kidding. I couldn't even start. First, Winamp crashed. And it wouldn't like stop crashing. I had to restart the laptop. So that took a while. And then the Mee6 bot dashboard wouldn't load on the Mee6 website. Mee6 is, or Mee6, I guess, is a bot for Discord that I'm trying to improve. That's one of the main things that I'm working on first, because it has a function where it sends out a message when people that you choose to add to it begin streaming on Twitch, right? And that part has been working, but it hasn't... It's supposed to be pinging people who choose the role to get the notifications, and it hasn't been pinging. So there's that. So I, needed to load up Mee6 dashboard so I could start looking at what's in there, figure out what's going on. It wouldn't load. That took like 20 minutes to figure out. Today, I wasn't even supposed to be doing this today. I'm actually supposed to be in some groups and stuff today, but the building was just locked when I got there. So, but I would come home and work on some of these things. I also am going to be working on finally setting ratings for everything in the Milkdrop visualizer, because I had a good opportunity to get some help with that, and it was a good time for a person who I asked about it. So yeah, big thanks to Odic Hastings. I think it's Odic. Anyway, Hastings, whatever. Thank you. He actually took the time. It didn't even take that long. That part was easy. It was like 15 minutes. And that's with, getting Discord running. Yeah, Discord like video and screen share and testing and stuff. 15 minutes is pretty quick, I think. Not feeling this really kinetic jazz right now.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt.
And this is never working for me. The next thing I'm going to be doing is finding some more stream channels for music streams. I mean, the dream is that I would have my own personally curated list of like probably several thousand music tracks, probably mostly video game tracks. But that would take dozens of hours that I really don't have right now. Especially if I go to get new stuff for the list, which I would probably have to do. You're easily looking at 30 to 50 hours, depending. Maybe a lot more. Anyway, so right now we're trying to get Mee6 to work, and the damn thing hasn't even actually sent the alert. The channel it's supposed to be sending it to. What is your excuse, Mee6, for not working? I mean, it's got my Twitch channel. Okay, it finally has announced it. What's that? Over 5 minutes into it. And the ping worked. Awesome. The next thing is if it is going to send a message when things are uploaded to YouTube, which it never has done, and it should have done. So we're gonna have to figure that out in the future. But hey, that's good. People will get pings. You know, and it's optional on my Discord, you know. It's a role that you can choose. Role is like a funny term that Discord has. I think it comes out of like how Discord started, which was primarily as a place for guilds and clans in MMORPGs to coordinate attacks and missions and things. So probably the term role started back there, where, you know, somebody was tank, DPS, healer, whatever, you know. But in Discord, a role is something that can be assigned to you by moderation or administration staff, or something that you can choose for yourself if they set up, if the moderation, well, the administration really sets that up to make that possible. And then it shows on your kind of profile window that other people can see on the server. They have to be on the server to see that, because every server has its own set of roles, potentially. So, in my Discord, I use roles for security access, because I'm trying to have fairly highly secure server that will deter most trolls and will minimize a lot of that kind of potential stuff. And then there's also roles that just kind of let people know a little bit more about you. You know, for instance, they can be used to get updates about the stream. One of the good settings, there's 4 choices that determine how open you are to receiving direct messages from other users. There's a set of roles to exclude you from channels if you wish, certain channels. There's a role that keeps you in the safe for work only channels. There's roles to keep you out of the group hypnosis channels, public scene channels. And then there's just stuff about you, like your gender and sexual and romantic orientations, characteristics, relationship status, neurotypicality, other things about interests, you know, like I'm trying to build like a community for futurists, because I like futurism a lot. So that's one. There's a lot of these roles, basically. So yeah, you just choose them, and they show up on your profile, and then people can look at that, and they can know, you know, if you're a furry or not. Basically. Furries are valid. As well as scalies, herps, cetaceans, avians, tars, and you know, any kind of magical creature, whatever. It's all good. So yeah. I have this set up and working. So the next thing is working on Milkdrop settings. So let me see here. What's gonna happen if I go full screen? Because normally, because I'd like to update this while streaming, you know, and then actually I can't go full screen. What am I talking about? I won't be able to see anything. Alright, so what if we go... Okay, that minimizes everything. Oh. Drag him around. That at least will let me know if anybody comes to chat. Hi, there's a pointer on the screen. That's funny. Alright, I have some notes here that have the hotkeys for Milkdrop. So first thing we need to do is put the preset order on sequential order. And scroll lock should lock presets, so they won't change anymore. Then we hit load specific. And we just go to the beginning. And we start rating these. We're just gonna hang out and decide how we feel about these presets. This one is not bad. I think I'll give it a 2. Yeah, I don't mind if this comes up. Let me hit space to go to the next one. Yeah, this one's pretty trippy. This one's pretty good, right? Yeah, sure. What's the hard? H. It's hard cut. Okay, I'll do hard cuts probably. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah. I almost suspect that the ratings that I set in months prior when I tried to work this out before it would retain the ratings that I set because of the administrative access problem I was having. Almost seems like maybe they're taking hold now somehow, like the program retained the ratings I wanted even though it seemed like they disappeared. I'm not sure. It's hard to say for sure. But yeah, we're just going through and rating settings, just kind of hanging out. And feel free to chat about whatever. I think I'm gonna reduce that one. This one is good. It's a little twitchy. Not looking for the twitchy as much, to be honest. Shaq Fu! Seriously? Shaq Fu, okay. Can't hear it though. What's the volume? Just turn it over. Oh, 30. So this one, the basic effect range is not bad, but the colors are a little too muddy, you know? I don't know. It's a bit trippy and that's good, but I'm not crazy about it. They really don't make video game soundtracks like this anymore, let me tell you. Yeah, I think I'll keep that. Yep. This is really colorful, and I like the bloom kind of effect happening. Yeah, we'll keep that. Yeah, I'm not wild about that one. Same. Well, that was nice, but ooh, kind of like this. Yeah, no, we're just gonna not have that one. Or this one. Oh. Maybe occasionally. Sure. Hey, it's Leviathan Mist. I saw your message on YouTube. Thanks for looking for the stream and stuff. How are you? Oh, that's the backspace button? Crazy. Oh, cool. Did you have a good day at work? Do you like your job? OBS is telling me encoding overloaded. Consider using a faster preset. I have to look into that. Yeah, I hear you, Leviathan Mist. It's a job. Totally. So, how did you, come to find the stream? Oh, that sucks because I don't have a lot of resources to give to it. I'll tell you one thing though, I love that old what face. It brings me back to the old days. I used to hang out for hours on Salty Bet. And you know, you'd have a match come up and I'd be like, oh, this one's free, and I'd bet like 3,000 salts on it, and then it was not free. And I would be like, ah, what face? Memories. I haven't been on Salty Bet in so long. Seriously? These are very, very similar. Mushroom Rainbow's Infected Acid Remix. Looking at videos of, oh yeah, cool! Awesome! That's awesome! I love it so much, the Grons FF hack, because I always wanted to be able to, like, really enjoy Final Fantasy 1. Do you know what I mean? And that can be a hard game to enjoy. It really doesn't make it easy sometimes. God, talk about your music though. Black Omen from Chrono Trigger? Holy rigatoni. That's a soundtrack. Wicked good. Chrono Trigger! I gotta tell you, sometimes in life or on other websites, I want to use Craigasm and I can't, and it hurts. I'm like, the only thing to express me right now is Craigasm. And it just, you know, the rest of social media needs to catch up with that stuff. I'm gonna tell you. Cool, yeah. Do you use Twitter? Because, right now, I'm letting people come into my new Discord server if they're interested. You know, just kind of giving cool people, links on Twitter and stuff. Or we can be Discord friends if you want to be Discord friends. Sometimes that seems like the wise thing to do. Not use Twitter. I seem to have kicked my Facebook habit, which I really like because I really don't like Facebook's involvement with state security apparatus and data collection, Cambridge Analytica, all that stuff. Now this is what I'm talking about right here. A little repetitive. Really good though. Okay, yeah, that's what I do. Thanks. Have a good drive home. Hopefully catch you soon. Big things hopefully coming with Inkstream. You know, just moving forward, trying to do what we can, and trying to improve things where we can. And, you know, hopefully the future holds some better gaming equipment and technical setup and computers and stuff, and we won't have problems running Klonoa anymore on our PlayStation emulator. Oh, jeez. Jeez 'em, squeeze 'em. Gosh, I don't, I'm kind of feeling like, is this all that this one does? But I'm also wondering if, like, the stream I'm on is not coming off enough volume. Yeah, see, you get more volume and it starts doing prettier things. Because that other stream can be kind of quiet sometimes. Oh, that is cool, the way it kind of, like, echoes down. I'm gonna go with a 2 for this one, because I don't hate this one, but... I feel like I'm zooming! This one... This is a big 2001 vibe right here. Space Odyssey. Space Oddity is a David Bowie album, and it's very good. But, ooh! Dr. Wright! Oh my gosh! That's so cool. I think we're gonna go with a 2 here. Definitely not a 4. Again, I'm not crazy about the color range here, so we're gonna go with a 1 there. Very similar here. That purple's a nice change. Oh, there's some reds. Maybe we'll get a 2 out of this one. Oh my, those pinks and the greens. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Oh, this is fun. See, this is kind of a good way to do stuttery that isn't too jarring. It kind of pulls people in, I think. Yeah, it says encoding overloaded. Consider turning... Oh, message disappeared before I can read it. Whatever. Yeah, we'll keep that at 3 because that's going to do some interesting things with transitions. Because the cool thing about the way Milkdrop transitions from presets is it somehow, like, mathematically blends the effects together and does, like, a genuine transition. You know what I mean? See, this is not even really responding to what's playing. I'm unimpressed. Yeah, see, these ones that are non-responsive, yeah, all you're getting is a little bit of action here, and I don't know, this is kind of boring. Well, it might be good occasionally. I like the way these things over here are kind of like slowly growing out. That's a bit hypnotic, right? That's good. Okay. Whoa! The Drain to Heaven. Wow, that's a hypnophile premise right there, actually. Put that up to a 4. Why not? Alright, so we've seen a similar effect to this before. So most of the action is in this, like, staticky stuff in the background. I don't think that one's gonna make the cut. It's important to use different kinds of music so you can see what happens, like this. Oh boy, I don't think this is gonna make it. Yeah, this is boring. Ba 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 bum. Might leave that on a 1. This is a little better. Let's see what happens. We'll give it a 1. We'll keep that one around a bit. Well, there's a hotkey for hitting next, isn't there? B. B is next. I'm not really impressed. Yeah. No, that one's not gonna survive, which is too bad because I like the basic what's happening here with the way it kind of blends this like teal and tan kind of thing happening here, but I just need more out of a preset than that, personally. I don't think this one's gonna make the cut. I kind of like it, but just kind of wiggling, you know? Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. So I don't get it. What is this? Is the Sim City stream? So every time I switch to it, it does like a streaming radio station greeting, but in Simish? Is that what's happening there? I don't know. I don't know. I went digging for video game streams, music streams, several months ago, back when the Sentimental Tokyo City Pop radio wasn't working out because I was getting content ID'd on stuff, and I didn't like that. Which really sucked because City Pop was a great vibe for my stream. I liked it a lot. And you know, I wasn't planning for a problem like that. I mean, it's friggin' City Pop. Why in the hell should I be getting content ID'd? It's stupid. Copyright sucks. I don't like it. So then I had this unexpected problem and I wanted to stream, so I just kind of had to rush. And there's a lot of music streams that I'm not crazy about because it's like all modern stuff. It's all the kind of stuff that you expect to hear in like these like Xbox One video games, you know, Gears of War, whatever. I did play Gears of War, I think Gears of War 2 quite a bit when I was hanging out a lot with someone who was a buddy of mine at the time. And I mean, I had fun with it for a little while, but it attracts, honestly, a significant number of toxic people. Which is not exactly the game's fault, but it's just kind of a cultural effect that we have going on right now. It's the whole thing, you know. So I want certain kinds of music. It can be a little hard to find. I think I'll go with the 1 for this one here. So I just was rushing. I had to go through all these different streams to find anything decent, and then a bunch of them were broken. Oh yeah, this one's really nice. I think a 3 is a good rating for this. And that's what we've been stuck with since then, is just this short list of streams that I got together at the time. Boy, I don't know, a 2? I don't think it's gonna make it. It's questionable if this is even gonna survive, because the way this is kind of wobbling here and on here just seems kind of, I want to say tacky or gauche or something. I don't like it. It reminds me of like something hanging off of your roof or something, just kind of wobbling around. And it's interesting that they can get that effect here, but it's not the kind of look that I'm going for, honestly. This is better. I like how it's got these like jagged kind of like second gen gaming console edges to it, you know? It's very Atari 2600 feeling. See how it reacts to other music. This is pretty good. I think a 2 is a good number for this. Yeah, we'll probably stick with that. Trail of Darkness. Now, as much as that title is kind of like sort of a kinky trigger for me, kind of evokes a certain line of thinking, you know, along the lines of like some really cool magical villainesses. Think of like really powerful sorceresses. You know, the dark elf that we were talking about the other day? That kind of thing. But there's not a super lot happening here. It does have a very Alien kind of, like the movie Alien kind of feel to it, so maybe we'll keep it at a 1. I do like this. I don't know if it's a 5. It's pretty cool though. I like how it gets this kind of embossed look to it too. It's really great. Thinking maybe a 3. Yeah, 3 could be good. Wow, this is fully embossed here. There's kind of not a lot happening. Just sort of slowly moving around the sides. I like how it breaks up the text though, that's neat. This actually might be more hypnotic than a lot of the other ones, but I still like things to be colorful. So I think we're going to keep this at a 1, probably. Breath of Fire! There's a game we hope to get to someday. Acknowledging that there's some shortcomings with all of those games, frankly. I've played all of the 4 main Breath of Fire games. Never beaten any of them. I got really close in Breath of Fire 4, but it was such a grind at the end. And I had the walkthrough, like the strategy guide. You know, what were they called? Brady games. Oh my god, I can't believe I just remembered Brady games. I'm dating myself right now pretty hard. So yeah, before you had really good walkthroughs on the internet, we used to buy thick books. Boy, I don't know. I don't know about this one. Hey, this is funky. Nice. I remember I had actually a Legend of Zelda Link to the Past guidebook, and it wasn't like fully sized, the same kind of size that you expect from manuals usually back in the day. But it was a little bigger and a little wider than like a paperback. And it was black and white, which wasn't too bad. It was a pretty good book. I had a Mega Man X strategy guide. Gosh, I hope that's still lying around somewhere. That was a... I would take that to school with me in 8th grade. You know, can't play the game when you're at school, but I could look through the book and, like, imagine. I could sort of, in my head, feel like I was playing the game. I don't know if this is gonna survive, which is too bad, because I do kind of like some of the stuff going on here. These triangles slowly spinning are neat. It's like circles and things. We'll keep it at a 1. It kind of reminds me of the cover to Frontiers by Journey. So, you'll survive on that premise alone. Okay, it's gotten all very white. This might be a little intense here.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting. Uw partner.
I don't know. Could be interesting to have it happen sometimes, especially to see the transitions happen. Temple of Time. Any Ocarina of Time fans up in here? Yeah, we'll keep that. Interesting. Interesting. Might leave this at a 1. You can rate that. This is a little bit prettier. I don't know if it's quite a 4, though. Maybe a 3? This song is nice. Return to Dreamland? Aww, that's so sweet. I'm gonna post this in my Discord. I remember this. Yeah. Oh, this is a pretty song too, though. Gosh. Cute, 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 cute. We have a whole room, a channel in my Discord called Cute Media. Just happy, cute, nice things. Good way to get away from how serious a lot of stuff can be all the time. We all need it, frankly. And you know, we're not always quite up for the full hypnosis experience. And that's cool too. Maybe this one can stay at a 2. Let's see what happens.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting, uw partner in hostingdiensten.
I wonder what the stream looks like right now. I want to give shout-outs to Fairy Kitty, Tranarchism, Leviathan Mist, and Tiabots for the follows recently. That's super cool of y'all. Super cool. We are up to 20 viewers now. That's special. Yeah, I think we could keep this with a 2 out of 5. The portal. Oh yeah, we don't need this anymore. That'll probably help the processing speeds and stuff. I don't know. Well, that part's kind of cool. Let's see what it does with something else. EVO! There's a heck of a game. I don't know, it's really twitchy and stuff. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna survive. Sorry, Ripperoonies. This one has an appeal. Maybe a 3? Yeah, we'll make that a 3. I'll tell you one thing, as soon as you show me something that's got like those purple and green colors, I just think Evangelion. This is interesting, but it's not really reacting much to the music, it feels like. Yeah, we'll go down to a 1. This is pretty cool so far. I'm gonna update the stream so people know what we're doing here. Ranking Milkdrop presets. Visualizer. Yeah, let's do that. Update. Cool. Yeah, this one's pretty good. I think a 3 is probably appropriate. Yeah, we'll go with the... I don't know, I think this one might even be a 2, actually. It's not like crazy good, but it's kind of good. Yeah, we'll do that. How's the music volume? A little quiet. No, I think I can actually change the volume here. Yes, I can. Okay.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting. Uw partner in
Hotkeys are so great, especially for my chronic inflammation and stuff. Way better than mousing. Super pretty. Oh, interesting. I think we can keep this at a 3. Could be good. Angels of Decay. That's also pretty sexy. Oh my gosh, y'all. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of or played any World of Darkness tabletop RPGs. White Wolf, I mentioned them recently, actually, in my Final Fantasy gameplay. There's some sexy stuff going on in those games. Like, from front to back. I mean, you got the vampires, all kinds of sexy, fetishy stuff happening there with their, like, clubs straight out of the Matrix, you know? And then, you know, with, like, Werewolf the Apocalypse, you got all kinds of these, like, evil spirits and things. It's, whew, lots of stuff happening there. For real. Oh no. This one's not really me. Maybe a 1. Where the Hammer Sings shop theme. This is pretty good. I think this could get a 3 at least. I'll tell you, when I get through all these presets, it's going to be so much better for my stream. It's going to be way better. I like it a lot. Wait, is that it? Is that all you do? You just kind of twitch at me and have some blue lines? Oh my god, this one brings me back. Oh my god, I'm seriously on the fence about making time for Final Fantasy V in my Final Fantasy retrospective we're in the middle of. But I get so like compulsive about getting every single job skill that I can on every single character. And it's ridiculous. It's like a lot of grinding. I probably, if I were gonna do that, what I would have to do is just go through like what's trending every day on Twitter and just like write down some discussion topics. Something like that. I don't know. Write down some notes somehow about things to talk about. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a 1. It's not bad. I like what it's doing, but it's not doing a whole lot. You know what I mean? Yeah. This one's pretty nice. Reminds me of a lot of like psychedelic posters you can buy at what's the name of that? Newberry Comics or something like that. It's called Newberry Comics, and they have like the smallest section for comics. It's wicked funny. It's mostly like records and fashion. A lot of like sexy stuff that you would find at Spencer's. You know, cheap stuff. Maybe a 2? Might be good. Ooh, this is nice. I don't know, I think a 4 is good for that. This one is not gonna make it. No, I don't think it's gonna make it. Sorry. We're not gonna make it. He explained how the end will come. You and me were never meant to be part of the future. All we have is now. All we've ever had is now. Any Flaming Lips fans? There's definitely a lot that could be said about Wayne Coyne's personality and ego and stuff. Questionable things going on there. But I really love their first, pretty much everything up through Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots. There's some good tracks on At War with the Mystics as well, but there's some real stinkers too. Some real stinkers. Opening track for one. Like, I appreciate what they're going for with the Yeah 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 song, but the end result is that the verses are annoying as hell. They're just annoying, like the worst kind of earworm, you know? Like, it gets in your head and it just makes you unhappy. I'm like a little mad at myself for even thinking of it just now. Shoutouts to everybody who made all these visualizers, though. Please don't take it personally if I'm rating your stuff down. It's not at all an objective assessment. I'm just going for a certain kind of thing with my stream, and even if I say like judgmental things about the preset, it's in the context of what I'm going for in my stream. And then there's also just, I have personal opinions about things. And my neurology is just as subjective as anybody else's. Don't think this one's gonna make it. No. Goodbye. Puts me in a mind of some early 90s dance hits. Things that make you go, or oh my gosh, what's that other one I really love? Is there a mute button? No. Motion. Interesting. I guess I can just turn the volume all the way down. How's that song go? Oh my gosh, it's a really good song from the 90s. It's got an amazing, colorful music video. Super classic. Gosh, it's gonna bug me. It's gonna bug me. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-bum. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna find this real quick here. So 79 views, not bad. Not bad, not bad. It is. I know it's in here, isn't it? Unless it got deleted, then it suck. Oh my god, it got deleted. Sad face, make ink. They done and did a sad on me, y'all. It's gonna bug me until the end of time. It is 100% worth it for me to figure out what this song is that I'm trying to think of. Groove is in the heart. Groove is in the heart. By D-Light. There we are, we got it. Groove is in the Heart by D-Light. So now you know where I'm at. What is this? What's going on here? Yeah? Okay. Okay, really? Huh. Cute. I don't know if it's a 3 though. This one might be a 2. We're gonna leave it at a 3. We're just gonna be like, hey, it's cool. We're gonna put you in a 3. So here we have a preset that's literally called Hippie Hypnotizer, which is literally what I am. Have you read any Robert Anton Wilson lately? Right? I'm honestly falling behind in my studies. I'm so busy learning dialectical behavior therapy. But it's kind of okay because, like, so much of DBT is mirrored in Undoing Yourself by Christopher S. Hyatt. Like, it was honestly freaking me out. Like, I'd go to class And I'd learn about like progressive muscle relaxation, and then I'd go home and I'd read Undoing Yourself. And like the first thing he gets to, he's like, okay, do this exercise, and he's literally describing progressive muscle relaxation. It was seriously that much of a synchronicity. I'm not making it up. It's crazy. Hail Eris, right? Wait a minute. Did I hit the scroll up button or something? I must have. Alright, that's what happened. It started scrolling on me again. Don't know why. It's fine. So, yeah, I think just out of, like, appreciation for the name of this preset, we're gonna have to leave it at a 2 at least. Cause that's where we're at here. Animal Crossing, I had a lot of fun with that. That's a really great stoner game, I'll tell you what. Back in the day, wasn't much like getting lit and sitting back for a couple hours with some Animal Crossing. If only the original version had like online connectivity, so you could just like go to your friends' places and they didn't have to all be on the same damn memory card. It's ridiculous. Then it would have been like a perfect game. For the love of all that is holy, do not install the mobile version. You don't deserve that. You deserve better than that. Don't do that to yourself. It is so predatory with the microtransactions. Ugh. Makes me mad. Can you tell I watch a lot of Jim Sterling? Koji Kondo! So quiet. I had to turn it way up.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting.
It's gonna be a 1.
Hostingdiensten.
Ooh. Ooh. This is kind of pretty. It's a little limited in the color range. I like it when it gets the reds in. And I apologize if my switching around to different music is frustrating for anybody, but I just have to see what different kinds of music do to the visualizers so I can properly assess them, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know, we'll keep this at a 1. Ooh! Oh! Oh my gosh! I literally feel like tingles in my flesh right now, like spreading through my body. This is really nice. Hedonic engineers in the house say what? When I say hey, you say ho, hey! Yeah, that's a 5. This Kid Icarus theme is really giving me some nostalgia. Big time. That is a game that's one of the dream completion games for me. Kid Icarus, Mega Man, you know, the original Castlevania, Ninja Gaiden, that's one of the more outside ones. And I would probably not expect myself to ever beat Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I just don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. This one is not thrilling me right now. Oh, that's a little better. I don't know. I mean, there's some somewhat interesting things happening with that, but...
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna make the cut. Sorry. I just have to maintain a certain kind of, you know, style in the stream. There's an appeal to this one, for sure. It's got a very, like, Final Fantasy IV alien magical technology kind of a vibe to it, which I certainly appreciate. I think we'll keep it around at a level 1. Probably not a 5, but this could be good. You gotta see what the visualizers do with less active songs and with more active songs, things that have more of like a dance. How do I put this? Dynamic range, you know, different things happening at different points of the equalizer bands. See, this one's getting excited even when there's like literally nothing happening. Relatable. This is a good one, but for like what I'm going for, I'm gonna set it at a 1, I think. Because it's not exactly conducive to what I'm going for. Okay, this is what we're doing? Okay.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting. Uw partner in hostingdiensten.
This is not an invalid thing to do with the visualizer, but I'm gonna say no. Okay, interesting how it's kind of stuttering. Very interesting. But it's not doing a whole... well... very novelty up in here with this song. Yeah, we'll do a 1 on that. This is a little bit more my speed. Yeah, I think this is a good 2 rating, 2 out of 5. Yoshi's Woolly World. Nice acoustic guitar. Oh, this is a nice song. Very 70s singer-songwriter vibes. Puts me in the mind of like Joni Mitchell or... yeah. Somewhere in that range. Simon and Garfunkel. Yo, for real, like, if you haven't been listening to Simon and Garfunkel, I really urge you to, because like they are good for the soul, like in a big way. Honestly, I should listen to them more. It's just suddenly hitting me, like, I need to get some more Simon and Garfunkel albums. liking this preset, but I want to see what else it does. A little brighter. I think 2 might be a good one for this one. And this is your hourly reminder to drink water. You haven't had any water in the last hour? It's a good thing to do. Get some water. I don't know about this one. I don't know. I just don't know about this one. Didn't have any time to do my voice training today. I thought I was gonna have this really big day where I was gonna be out of the house until like 5:50 p.m., which is a little late for me usually. And then a bunch of stuff got canceled, so I'm just gonna stay home. I don't think this one's gonna make it. Well, there's things I like about this one. Crystal Glasses, that's a cute title. It's a little too, like, glitchy in a kind of, how do I put it? Kind of, fidgety way. We'll do a 1 on that. Kira Yamaoka, oh my gosh, I'll never forget the theme song for Silent Hill 4, The Room. Room of Angel, I think it's called. Yeah, that song is devastating. This is a cool song.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting. Uw partner in hostingdiensten.
I'm pretty sure that's Simlash. Yeah, this one might be a 2. This one's kind of interesting. A little bit enchanting. Lost in the bottle. Well, you could go one of a couple different ways with the implications there. Some of them a little more worrisome than others. Let's imagine that it's a bottle full of, like, hypnotic potion. That's better, right? I don't know. Maybe I will give it a 1. Let's not drive me crazy. Interesting. Oh! Turn up the volume. Maximum feels. If I start crying, I'm sorry. Hey, Leviathan Mist, welcome back. Very PogChamp right here. Two good friends. Yasunori Mitsuda is a saint, in my opinion. As Discordian Pope, I anoint Mitsuda 100% sainted. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Leviathan Mist. Yeah. He did such amazing things. I haven't kept up, you know, I'm kind of like out of the loop of what's happening in music a lot these days, you know? With video game music, you know, more recent stuff. But, you know, Chrono Trigger, Xenogears, Chrono Cross. Oh, Leviathan Mist says Kenji Ito is definitely their favorite. I don't know the name off the top of my head. Can you tell us some of the soundtracks or compositions Ito has done that you really liked? I also really love what Uematsu did with Final Fantasy IV. And then probably after that would be Final Fantasy VII. And then it's like close between 9 and 6, but probably 9 and then 6. I know a lot of people like love Final Fantasy VI so much, and like, yeah, it's good. It's like really good, but okay, Leviathan is he, him pronouns. I will do my best to remember, because it's, you know, it's not online with when all it is a screen name. You know, it's if it were like Twitter or Discord and you had a profile picture that made it clearer and stuff, or God, I'm talking out of my butt right now. Sorry. So yeah, Kenji Ito composed for Romancing Saga and Seiken Densetsu. Yeah, I like your profile pic, the eel there on YouTube. It's cool. Seiken Densetsu. So, would that have been what became Final Fantasy Legend on the Game Boy? Or is that actually Secret of Mana on the... Yeah, Final Fantasy Adventure. Cool. Nice. Yeah, it's interesting how that got the Final Fantasy name. But it's very different in a lot of ways. Sword of Mana? GBA? Cool. Yeah, there's another, like, Seiken Densetsu series game on the PS1 that I want to play sometime, but it's one of those, when you got to the PS1, you got a bunch of RPG development teams that were like, let's get crazy here and make all kinds of super non-linearity, all kinds of things could happen. You don't even know what you're doing half the time. It's affecting your characters, and you're making a village or something, and all kinds of stuff is changing. You're customizing and you don't even know it. You're gonna have to buy our 600-page strategy manual from Brady Games. The brick joke, I brought it back. Leviathan Mist also says Yoko Shimomura is up there too. Kingdom Hearts, Mario RPG, and some early Capcom. Yeah, cool. Those are some good things soundtrack wise. Mario RPG, Nito Burrito, and Leviathan Miss wants to know if I've played ActRaiser for SNES. I played it briefly at a friend's house, probably circa 2000 or so, and they didn't have the manual. So, I mean, it's freaking ActRaiser, and there's the whole, like God game part of it, where you're helping manage, like, cities and stuff, and I had no idea. I had no idea. So that's one of those games that I would like to get into. Theoretically, with infinite time, I'm gonna get around to it at some point. We're gonna call this one a 1 out of 5. Okay, so, I mean, soft porn is obviously gonna make the cut. The question is how high? Yeah, ActRaiser is a really cool game. I don't know if you follow SNES Drunk on YouTube. There's a channel called SNES Drunk. And he has done some interesting videos on SNES games that blend or combine different genres. And, yeah, ActRaiser is a really interesting example of that. Dark Side of the Moon is an automatic entry, obviously. I think it might be a 2, yeah. Good. ActRaiser just feels like the kind of game where I would have to spend a lot of time learning and writing down notes and everything. So that it might be a while before I get to that, especially because I'm trying to get through Final Fantasy 1, 4, 6, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 7, and Final Fantasy 9. That's going to take a long time. There was a spiritual sequel to ActRaiser released recently. Oh, I'm glad you brought it up because actually Jim Sterling reviewed it on YouTube and it made his worst games of 2019 list. It's really bad. It is such a letdown because there hasn't been an ActRaiser title in forever. And ActRaiser is a good game. It deserves something really good. Yeah. It's really unfortunate. It's disappointing. Leviathan Myth says, it's hard for me to relate because I played ActRaiser when I was very young and had older brothers to teach me things. Yeah, I mean, that's the dream, right? When you have a good relationship with older siblings or older cousins or something like that. Close cousins you see a lot, and they teach you how to play games and things. I had some of that when I was really young, but I also had fairly antagonistic relationships with my siblings, my older siblings. So it was kind of a mixed bag. And none of them really got into Super Nintendo. They only played PC games when I was a lot younger. And, yeah, I was kind of on my own when it came to Super Nintendo. Well, I mean, not to impugn your whole gender or anything, but it tends to be the way with boys. There's a lot of, jockeying for, you know, power, you know, dominance roles, etc., etc. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Leviathan Mist. Yeah, it's not fun to be the youngest in a family with a bunch of boys. Yeah. It's really hard in a lot of ways. The eldest child has so much privilege and they're always completely oblivious to it. They're like so entitled. Ugh, like they want all the good stuff of being the oldest. But they want to get everything their way and they don't want to be bothered when they don't want to be bothered. Sucks. Very Veruca Salt. You know what I mean? This one's fun. It's called When Robots Take Over the World. We're all looking forward to that. Let's try some different music. See what it does. Yeah?
Partner in hostingdiensten.
I think this is actually a 2 here. Ease. There's a series I haven't had any chance to get into. See if I can pull it up for you again. The Celtic Link. Here you go, E7. Leviathan Mist played the Steam remake of Ys 1 and 2. Definitely recommends. Awesome. There's so many RPGs to play and they all take so much time. And I always want to play my old favorites. You know that feel, right? Ooh, melty. Like the melty. So Leviathan Mist, like, are you kink positive and stuff? Or are you just here for the retro games and like, I don't know, queer commentary and trans stuff? Cool, that's great. Yeah, because I know it's probably a lot to ask, but I feel like there's actually a good overlap between like left-wing politics, you know, kink, hypnosis stuff, and retro games. I mean, because like trans people in retro games, or like gaming in general, is like a huge thing. Huge overlap. If for no other reason than the fact that, like, we love it when games let us choose our gender. We're like, wow, you're already more considerate than real life ever was. Way to go, video game! Right? We get something with some volume. Mario and Luigi, Bowser's Inside Story. I played the Mario and Luigi RPG on GBA. That was heckin' fun. I actually got all the way through it and beat it. It was cute, but it had good design. It didn't really require skill, I think, but it rewarded skill. Which is a good model, I think, when you're trying to hit the all ages bracket. Yeah, I think we're going to keep this one at 4. I mean, it's got witchery in the title, and it's great colors, it's melty. Yeah, that's setting me off in a big old way. Leviathan Myth says, I support LGBTQ. I have a gay brother and multiple trans friends. Thank you so much. We freaking need allies right now. I gotta be real with you. It's been a little sketchy sometimes the last couple years. It was really amazing, like around 2012, when when Laverne Cox got like really famous and popular, and she was on the cover of magazines and things. You know, Laverne Cox from Orange is the New Black. That was amazing. And suddenly people were talking about trans people in a way more respectful way, in a more accurate way than ever before. And I could talk a lot about why this happened, but I think we have two that are very similar here. Gosh and golly gee. But that was so exciting and was a big part of my awakening. Actually, it was probably earlier than that. It must have been like 2010, 2011. I think. Hey Google, when did Orange is the New Black premiere? 2013. Oh my god, I'm way off. I don't know what's happening anymore. I lost track of all this. The important point is there was a surge of trans visibility in a positive, good way. And it was so exciting and we felt like, wow, things are really changing. And what I should have known from like my occult and historic studies is that there was going to be a backlash. The pendulum was going to swing back the other way. And it's just the constant back and forth throughout history. Nietzsche talked about it in terms of the Apollonian and Dionysian, what do you say, cultures or drives or whatever. Yeah, it's just a thing, right? Let's see, Leviathan Mist says, though I am cis, I could be described as bisexual. I don't watch a lot of shows and movies unless they're anime or video game related. Cool, well, I'm happy to have you under the great big rainbow. That's awesome. You know, there's so much fluidity in sexuality, you know, in gender. Just, we need to completely destroy the binary, because it is 100% not true. And honestly, pretty much any binary that you come across is not true. So, yeah. I'm nervous about using my voice to do Google searches because I feel like they are spying on you via your microphone. I mean, you're not wrong. They're doing that anyway, I think, even without activating it. I mean, the CIA, the NHS, or DHS, NSA, Hamas? Can't forget about Hamas. Is that the one? What's the name of the, what's the name of Israel's state security? No. What is the name of Israel's state security? That's not accurate. Israel Security Forces on Wikipedia. Mossad, that's who I'm trying to think of, not Hamas. Hamas is completely different. Mossad, you can't forget about Mossad. There, oh yeah. If you want to understand the US better, like, you gotta understand how deeply involved the US is with the state of Israel. It is intense. And actually, Israel does a lot of kind of like ground testing of populist control methods. And kind of like does test runs on that stuff for us before we start rolling it out in stateside. Like a lot of the stuff that you're seeing with the concentration camps we have with migrants and asylum seekers and stuff right now from south of the border, a lot of that stuff was kind of fleshed out in Israel. It's crazy. So yeah, I totally know what you mean about not seeing a lot of shows or movies unless they're anime or game related. There's like way too many cool things to get into. But yeah, tell us about some of the anime that you like and stuff. So I've been into anime since roughly 1994. And I like a lot of the old stuff. Leviathan Mist asks, do you play a lot of ROM hacks? Relative to the amount of gaming that I do, yes, I would say so. I really like ROM hacks. I think that they're super great. I've spent some time playing Chrono Trigger Crimson Echoes, for instance. I play a lot of Link to the Past Randomizer. And I want to get more and more into ROM hacks because I think that they're awesome. They appeal to me politically and artistically. They appeal to me as a fan. It kind of touches me deeply that these games that we had, you know, in our youth or years past, you know, in the 80s and 90s, have had such an impact on people that these people come together and have formed community and are so passionate that they actually like make a new game out of it, or, you know, get into it and tinker with it and stuff. All of that's awesome. Oh, another one I played a good amount of is Hyper Metroid. Woof! There's a game. That's a ROM hack of Super Metroid where they're just like, Super Metroid's good, but what if it was like 4 times harder? Just like 4, you know, it's not like Kaizo, it's not like 30 times harder or anything, just 4 times harder. Just make it 4 times harder. Would that be great? What if we like did some new stuff with the palette and did some new stuff and completely made a new map and everything and totally redesigned the game and changed the item acquisition sequence and everything. And I'm over here like, yes! It's great. Leviathan Mist says, I started with Pokemon and Sailor Moon. Those were my jams in the 90s. Then I moved on to more slice of lifey anime like Haruhi Suzumiya and Lucky Star. I went back and watched those again after what happened to Kyoto Animation Studio last year. I haven't played Crimson Echoes yet. I played Hyper Metroid, one of the better SM hacks. So yeah, boy, some of the early anime that I got into, I caught HBO Network's horribly butchered version of Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, which they called Warriors of the Wind. And this would have been in the mid-80s, probably around 87, roughly. I caught it on HBO. I was very young. And I barely remember it, but it made such... I can't even explain the impact it made on me. For years afterward, I didn't even know what I was remembering, but I had these vivid images in my mind of Nausicaa flying over in her gull wing. Because it is that incredible. It's that beautiful and that impactful. And that is one of the 40 or so movies I've currently identified that I cannot watch without crying. It's just unavoidable. I'm gonna be crying if I watch Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind. But then, yeah, around 94, 95, I saw Bubblegum Crisis, Orgus, Ninja Scroll, Bio Booster Armor Guyver, Akira. I saw Akira when I was like maybe 14, if even. I might have been 13. I was way too young to see Akira. That movie wrinkled my brain, and I still love it. It's one of my all-time favorites. Akira is really important. Yeah, so just love that old school stuff. Orgus is just like, you know, it's kind of run of the mill. If you're into like Super Dimension Fortress Macross and stuff, it might be kind of interesting. Ninja Scroll, the film, I highly, highly, highly recommend. It's a great film. Really gory, very bloody, great action, very dramatic. Did I mention it has great animation? Super great. Yeah, Ninja Scroll, highly recommended. I could recommend about 20 anime right now, so I don't want to get carried away. Leviathan Mist says, my friends were all into Dragon Ball Z. I couldn't stand it though. Well, you're better than me. That was one of the traps I fell into in my teen years. Yeah, Dragon Ball Z sucked me in. It's an abusive relationship, that show, you know? It's a harmful, addictive substance. It wastes your time like crazy, especially the original version. But even Dragon Ball Z Kai has a lot of... I could stand here and really get into critiquing Dragon Ball Z. But I don't want to do that. I just don't want to. So let's leave it at I had a really big love-hate relationship with DBZ. Which is to say that I'd love it and I'd hate myself for loving it, and then I'd hate it, and then it would pull me back in again. But I've been sober from DBZ for a good I don't know, 5 or 7 years or something like that. I think they were partway through the Boo Saga and Dragon Ball Kai. And I just like stopped watching. And ever since then I've been fine. Leviathan Mist, you said you played Hyper Metroid, one of the better Super Metroid hacks. Super agree. Yeah, it's in one of the top tiers for Super Metroid hacks. And there's lots of cool ones. Some of them have more limited scope. Some of them are just fun, or cute, or hard, or whatever. Hyper Metroid is kind of like the full package, though. Really kind of a full package. So, I like what's happening in the back here with these rays, but these fractals are, like, completely static. Yeah, it's like, honestly, I think it's just kind of stuck there. So, I would say this is kind of a broken... Yeah, this one's called Work with Lines of Code. Like, I don't know what that means, but... It's not gonna live. Leviathan Mist says, I liked Z Factor a lot, even though the graphics were vanilla, it was really creative and expansive. I'm guessing that's a Super Metroid ROM hack? Cool. I mean, that's the great thing about Super Metroid, is the graphics are so good in the first place, there's so much stuff happening there, that, you can make a good ROM hack just with that. You know, it's like the Zombies Ate My Neighbors sequel ROM hack. You know, sometimes you just want more levels. Oh, by the way, I was watching the crowd control Link to the Past randomizer run in AGDQ 2020. And people were talking smack about one of the big ROM hacks of Link to the Past. Well, hey, it's Dark Yet Shiny! I'm glad you're here. Cool. Yeah, I think it was... Wait. Well, that's not a ROM hack. Wait. I'm getting confused. What was the, like, soft sequel to Link to the Past? That was Something I don't even know anymore, really. Okay, yeah, Parallel Worlds was a ROM hack. Yeah, I don't... Okay. So, yeah, I think they were talking smack about Parallel Worlds, but honestly, there's always so much going on at AGDQ, it's hard to keep up. That's valid, dark, yeah, shiny. How would everybody feel if, I kinda just, like, stopped and ate some food, but kept the stream running? We could kinda hang out and talk and eat. 'Cause I'm getting a bit hungry. But I'm like, yeah, I got 2 viewers! People hanging out and talking. Okay, Dark and Shiny says that's fine by me, and Leviathan Mist says you do what you gotta do. Sage words to live by. Sage freaking words. Here's some Tales of Symphonia music. I'm gonna go find something to eat. Let's see, what's good to eat? What's good to eat? So I want something I can eat that's not going to be really loud. That's really difficult for me with all of my dietary restrictions. Can't just grab like a granola bar or whatever, you know? Oh, cool, Dark It's Shiny. I didn't know that you knew Tales of Symphonia. Hey Google, what platform is Tales of Symphonia on? PS3, PS2, GameCube, and Windows. Well, might have to put that on the list. So I'd like to personally endorse Annie's Homegrown Gluten-Free Bunny Grams, Cocoa and Vanilla Graham-style snacks. They make me very happy. They're pretty dang good. And they're not, they're pretty low in sodium. Good combo. Yeah, Leviathan Mist, I thought that sounded like a Rydia reference. God, seriously, FF4 was like how I got into JRPGs. I talked about this in another video. I technically started a game of Final Fantasy when I was pretty young, but I had no idea what the heck I was doing, and it didn't work very well for me. But when I got into Final Fantasy IV, it was like at the perfect age. I think I was like 11 or so, maybe 12. And it just ate my brain. I was so in love with it. It was amazing. And it had a huge impact on me. I love Final Fantasy IV. I'm really looking forward to playing it after Gron's Final Fantasy. Dark Age Shiny says, Tales of Symphonia is one of my faves. I logged over 90 hours on it before my son accidentally deleted my file. Hashtag parental woes. For real. Leviathan Mist says, you like gluten-free stuff? I used to work for a company that makes gluten-free oatmeal cups. I left on my own terms, but I still buy their rolled oats. So, yeah, it's not like a fad or a choice thing for me. I get extremely sick if I have even a tiny microscopic bit of exposure to gluten. Wicked bad. Dark Age Shiny made vegan soup today. That's awesome. That sounds really good. I would have loved things like that a couple years ago before I had to switch to low FODMAPs diet. Not feeling God of War, I can tell you what.
Gemaakt door Ice Hosting, uw partner in hostingdiensten.
Miso with tofu cubes, peas, and carrots. That sounds so good. Yeah, you know, I was tested for celiac and it actually came back negative. But it's possible it was because I already stopped eating gluten. It's also possible I have some other kind of sensitivity. There's a lot of uncertainty right now online and in the world about gluten stuff. Dark and Shiny says, because life isn't hard enough yet, right? Well, that's a complicated topic for me, you know? I mean, it sucks, you know? I can't just, like, hang out with people and just, like, grab a pizza with them or something like that, like I used to. And that's, you know, that's not easy, but, it is what it is. That's my radical acceptance mantra. It is what it is. Best thing I can do is figure out what's going on to the best of my ability and then do what I gotta do. Oh, Leviathan Mist, you were, I think you were Craigasming in response to the concept of Studio Ghibli. So let's make a reference here. The wind rises. Relevant to what I was just talking about. The wind rises. We must live. You know? So yeah, I took a long time to check out that movie, The Wind Rises. I highly recommend it. It's so good. I have to say, having human voices create the sound effects for the mechanical machines, like the machines and the engines and things like that. I don't know if that was a good choice, but It worked when it was a dream at the beginning of the movie, but then after that, when it was like just like real life, I was like, I don't know about this one, Miyazaki-san. Leviathan Mist! Binge watched every Ghibli movie a few years ago. For real, there's worse choices you could make. What did you think of Porco Rosso? I've been putting it off. I'm not crazy about the character design for the main character, the pig man. It's not thrilling me, but I've been thinking about watching it, and I haven't yet. Dark and Shiny says Porco Rosso was meandering. Yeah, I mean, that's a mood. That's a total mood. Leviathan Mist says, I don't really remember it, which means it's probably not one of the better ones. I remember it being silly. Wow. Dark and Shiny says, which is weird because Spirited Away was very much a series of instances, but it felt better. Leviathan Mist says, but if you want a really good silly Ghibli movie, try The Cat Returns. Awesome! That is, because sometimes it's nice to have something that's not too serious, you know? I can't watch Mononoke Hime all the time, you know what I mean? Can't do it.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting.
So serious.
In hostingdiensten.
I don't think this one's gonna make it. Oh, maybe? Okay. Leviathan Mist says Ponyo is also really good, and Dark and Shiny agrees enthusiastically. That's one I put off because I really didn't know what I thought about what I saw of the animation style in it. But I probably should watch it. I don't know about these squares, you know? These squares aren't really doing it for me here. Dark and Shiny says, I haven't seen Ponyo. I was agreeing to needing silly sometimes. Okay. Thank you for clarifying, Dark and Shiny. I don't like squares either. That's why we bash the fash. Well, we smash the fash. Because bash has some connotations with, like, physical assault. You know, like the old term gay bashing. We used to hear back in the 90s and stuff. Smash is more like destroying the ideology and liberating the people who have been infected by it. From their own mind prison, you know what I mean? Trash the fash, oh no! I just had a visualization of like Splinter tossing Shredder over the side of the building at the end of the Ninja Turtles movie. The original one. 1990. Literally trashing the fash. Casey Jones is all like, whoops! Totally should be a meme. Yeah. Because that's how we're gonna win, by using Aikido. Energy redirection, you know? Be like water. Oh, fucking A! Ah! Craigasm! Fucking Ninja Gaiden soundtrack, I'm not even kidding. Leviathan Mist says Ninja Gaiden was unnecessarily punishing, and he's not wrong. The enemy respawn rate, the way they'll come back from the side of the screen is extremely cruel. Dark and Shiny thinks we're certainly not going to appeal to their better nature in reference to the Fash. Well, it's hard to do in a direct way. There is some hope, though. There's a whole organization called Life After Hate, and there's like books about it and stuff. People do come out of hate groups all the time. It happens. And I like to think all of those people have been kind of inoculated, you know? One model for life that I find very interesting lately is not of good and evil as being opposing, but as actually being like, you know, what the hell do they call them? Hold on, I need to look this up. So with DNA, you have the base pairs, which are like the horizontal lines that connect the two spirally parts. And the spirally parts are sugar phosphate backbone, okay? So I think of good and evil as being like the sugar phosphate backbone of life. And they kind of like, just like spin around each other and progress onwards. And, yeah, it's all kind of, this is just a model, keep in mind. It's something I think about. I'm trying to get away from Manichaean thinking, you know, this whole classic grand narratives of good versus evil that are frequently very useful to fascism. So, you know, as soon as you see something being really useful to fascism, right away, it's a good idea is to start critiquing it. Polarities. Let's see, what did I miss? Leviathan Mist says, I think I made it to 5-1 one time. Oof, that's intense. Does Ninja Gaiden have 5 worlds or 6? I'm trying to remember. So I think I might have gotten to 5-2. It starts to get so hard, though, in stage 5. Yeah. Yeah, Ninja Gaiden 1 has 6 stages. Okay. With acts, or 6 acts, and then it's got stages, I think. Yeah, Act 5 is intense. Dark and Shiny says, I made it to the 3rd level once with a nauseating amount of save states. I feel that. Leviathan Mist enjoying Tetris Attack. Full-on nostalgia kick right there. Cool. Yeah, sounds like a good game. Tetris Attack. I'll try to look that up sometime. I should make some kind of group document that people can contribute to. Technically, you could come to the Discord server and just like put game titles in the suggestions channel. Or just talk about them in the games room. I'll tell you one thing, with all of my dietary restrictions, it is truly a blessing and a charity and an act of mercy from Goddess that I can still eat bacon and chocolate. Sometimes together, they're actually kind of a good combo. But usually kind of separate, right? Seriously, if I couldn't have bacon and chocolate anymore, I'd have to be on suicide watch. It would not be good. Not to make light of suicidality at all. I mean, I've been there. Ugh. I just remembered when Robin Williams died. Brain, why you do this to me? So cruel. The cruel angel's thesis is my brain. Well, Leviathan Mist, you know, you really have a point there. Leviathan Mist says, I have an unpopular opinion about bacon. I think it's overrated. Well, that's the thing. I remember... What was it, like 2013, when you couldn't go onto Facebook without seeing a bunch of stupid bacon memes, and honestly it turned me off from bacon too for a while. And that's happened to me before. I think it was on Lizzie McGuire on the Disney Channel. There was like this really obnoxious younger boy character. He was like well before preteen. He was probably like 11 or so, I don't know. He was so obnoxious. I didn't even watch this show, but I liked other things that were on the Disney Channel. I can't remember what right now, but anyway. Like, it was every commercial break, there'd be the Lizzie McGuire commercial. And it would be like, look at this cast of characters we have. Here's Lizzie doing this thing, and Lizzie's bestie doing this other thing. And then there's, what was his name? Probably like... something annoying. What's a good annoying boy's name? Bertrand. Let's just say his name was Bertrand. And then there's Bertrand, and then it cuts to Bertrand, or whatever his name was. And he goes, what part of bacon don't you understand? And I had to hear this every goddamn 8 minutes. Every time I watched anything on this godforsaken network. And I was seriously like, alright, you know what? F bacon. I'm done with bacon. And that was probably around 2000 or so. Seriously, is that all you got? I don't know. Oh, wait, what? I don't know what Brink of Time is, but it's a thing. What's up with this Brink of Time stuff? It says Chrono Trigger, but I don't know what it is. Okay, again, you have like the static fractal in the background. How is that happening? Why? Okay, then it kind of goes away and then it comes back. I'm not impressed. You gotta make different fractals. It's always the same fractal. Let's see, Dark It Shiny says Kyle? Oh, Leviathan Mist says A+ reenactment of the commercial. Thank you! I would love to be entertaining, so I try. I try to be. And if I can succeed occasionally, that would be just
Deze stream wordt mede
wonderful.
gemaakt door Ice Hosting.
Wonderful.
Partner in hostingdiensten.
Leviathan Mist says, Tyler. Tyler was the name of my bully in primary school. That sucks. Bullies. I remember I had them. I don't remember their names. I think one was named Robert or Roger or something, but I might just be thinking of Roger from the cartoon Doug. Dark and Shiny says, yeah, I got tired of the cult of bacon fetish just really quickly. Just like Baby Yoda. Oh. Girlfriend, like, I saw Baby Yoda once and I was over it. I'm like, I see what this is. This is Minions all over again. This is crass commercial manipulation of the lowest common denominator. I'm just done with Star Wars. You know, we got The Last Jedi. Okay. Good enough. I'm done now. I'll just take this great film from an actual filmmaker. You can fucking keep J.J. Abrams. I do not want him. Goodbye. Leviathan Mist says, last I checked, Tyler was in prison, so as much as I hate seeing people throw their life away, can't say I didn't see that coming. Well, there's a lot to say about that, too. You know, we've got a whole prison industrial complex in this country, here in the USA. I don't know how bad it is in some other developed nations, but it's pretty bad over here. Really, really bad. There's all kinds of borderline invisible social forces that kind of force people into boxes and put them into terrible fates, you know? Ink dislike. Ink smash. See, I like this, but is enough happening? Well, this is really interesting, though. It's almost a mandala-like. Or a really good kaleidoscope. I think this might actually be a 2. Yeah, we're gonna go with a 2 for that one. Boxes are back, girls! You know, I might keep this one just because I like the kind of effects that are happening on them, you know? I remember these. These are not good. Look at this! Nothing's happening here. I don't... Maybe it works in like a club atmosphere? I don't know. Let's try a different song. Dark and Shiny says, little boxes full of fractals, little boxes made of quantum theory! Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so this is an interesting idea. Don't know if it's gonna make the cut, though. I don't know. It's just not really my jam. Oh, it's like somebody bottled joy and ran it through a digital analyzer and translated it really well. tell you something, if somebody took this and synced it to like a really, really subversive, like brainwashing track, and then like put it on a visor and stuck it on your head, I'm not even gonna play. It's on my head. I would be in big trouble. They would have me in a pretty compromised position. Oh my gosh.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door
It's
iShowsting.
just not doing very much. Like, the colors are pretty, but it's not reactive. And I like presets that are reactive to what is happening in the music. And yes, I'm still struggling to keep my voice up where I want it. Didn't have time for voice training today, and the real truth is, a big part of why I do these streams is to like force myself to practice, because I can't stand the idea of doing any kind of recordings anymore where my voice isn't up into a certain range. So I'm kind of doming myself. Target Shiny says, I was reading an article today about all the potential good that could be done with VR, and I'm like, but capitalism. Pokemon Mystery Tongue! Did it cut off? It didn't cut off on my screen. I see it all the way over. It cuts off on radio and in 10 on mine. Oh, was it when it came up here and did the thing? Yeah. Dark and Shiny. You are still cheeky. Cheeky girl. Let's see, yeah, we gotta get rid of that capitalism. There's gonna be problems if we don't get rid of the capitalism. Yeah, I rewatched Blade Runner 2049 the other day, and I just couldn't stop thinking, like, look what happens when we have corporations. You know, he literally says it in the movie, like, we couldn't have slaves anymore, so we just, like, made slaves. Capitalism! You said it. Leviathan Mist wants to know if I've seen Idiocracy. And you know, it's really funny. After all these years, I still haven't watched it. I'm not sure what I'm afraid of, or maybe I just think I won't like it. I'm not sure. But I've been putting it off. And I don't know. Leviathan Mist says, I'm not talking about the real world, though there are some extreme similarities. Yeah, it's getting more and more like that. I was also one of those people who was watching the presidential race back in 2016. That night in November, and I was like, yeah, here, time to watch Hillary's coronation. You know, it was like so pre-written, you know, it seemed like. And then around 8 p.m., you could see on Democracy Now! Their live coverage, this horrible dawning reality coming over all of us. And it became pretty obvious, I think, by like 9 or 9:30. And I went to bed with just like a rock in the pit of my stomach, you know? Somehow I slept anyway, and I woke up and, yeah. Fucking Cheeto was elected. It's extremely traumatizing. Hey, History Buff, welcome to the stream. So nice to have you here. I hope we can get to know you. Leviathan Mist says, I actually knew liberals who didn't go out and vote because they figured it was already in the bag. Yep. There was a good chunk of that. Dark and Shiny says, I think I sat and stared at the wall for half an hour after the election. Yeah. Yeah. And I was really worried because I was already hearing about trans people, you know, who got, you know, extremely dysregulated and were, you know, doing that thing that's we try to avoid in the mental health world. Yeah, it was really something. God, I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about History Buff. Hey, how'd you hear about the stream? Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm just going through these visualizer presets and deciding what I like and what I don't like. Because thanks to a Twitter friend of mine, Oric Hastings, we figured out how to fix this situation. So I was trying to set the presets before, but it wasn't saving them because of the folder that it was in. Oh, History Buffs! Watching it on Dark Yet Shiny's monitor. Well, awesome! I know who History Buff is now. That's super duper. Thanks for being here. Bun Love emote from the Bad Bunny channel over here with Dark Yet Shiny. I like it. It's pink. Pink is good. Cool. It's great to see you there, Buff. How about this? Comfy pants are so special and precious to all of us. I'm just making the song up right now. I think a 3 is probably good. Ooh. Oh! Yeah, this one's good. We'll leave it at 4. 4 is a good choice. I don't like these ones with this weird thing. It's just like this like shape. I don't tastes bad. Oh, these colors are cool though. Oh my gosh. Might leave this at like a 1 just because I like what's happening with these colors. Dark and Shiny says everyone needs these pants instead of a chicken in every pot and 2 cars in every garage. It's just piles of comfy pants. The conquest of comfy pants? Wait, who the fuck? Hey Google, who wrote The Conquest of Bread? I feel bad, I don't remember this. Kropotkin! Kropotkin's little-known sequel, The Conquest of Comfy Pants, really, really furthered all of that, like, Marxism stuff. And the world just wasn't ready for it yet, so it's being held in a vault on like the 5th level basement of the Vatican, next to the unpublished chapters of the Illuminatus trilogy. Most passive conquest ever, says History Boff. True story. Hey, if we keep this up with so many viewers, I'm gonna hit affiliate. I'll be able to start getting ad revenue like a fucking capitalist. I don't think I'll ever put ads on my YouTube videos, but I'll probably run them on Twitch. 'Cause, I have like some scratches in my car that really need to get repaired, to be honest. Leviathan Myth says, the world is never ready for anything. I'll throw you a sub when you do. Oh! Cool! Thank you, Leviathan Myth. Wow. Dark and Shiny with the classic reply guy comment. I see you criticizing society, but you live in one, LOL. Yeah, that's... the thing is, the guys that do say that these days still, it's like Fahukwa Gods from Homestar Runner. He's just making himself look bad. Because that line is so old and so thoroughly deconstructed now. It's got no weight. Ooh, pretty colors. I like the watery. Watery's good. Leviathan Mist, gotta put my privilege to use somehow, right? Hey, that's a big deal. That really is. Yes, SLC Punk the System. I love that movie. I'm not sure what the reference is, but I love that movie a lot. And that is also a film that's on my list of 40 movies I cannot watch without crying. Because that whole climax hits me like an anvil. It really does. It hits me like a freaking sledgehammer right in the gut. It's probably the finest acting Matthew Lillard has ever done, and he is 100% there, and he kills it, and it is just soul-crushing. It's so good. History Boff says, the cat is making it difficult to type, but subs for you when the time comes. I gotta give love to the cat, too. Cat is valid. Valid cat. There's all kinds of cool colors and stuff happening before. Why aren't they happening now? See, now it's better. I'm gonna have to downgrade this because it's not so good sometimes.
Uw partner in hostingdiensten.
I don't know. The other thing to keep in mind is a lot of these aren't gonna be on screen that long. It's just a question of how often they're gonna come up. Let's get jazzy! Leviathan Mrs. I'm going to be the male equivalent of the Crazy Cat Lady. I love Crazy Cat Lady. She's voiced by Tress MacNeille. She's amazing. I've had a crush on her since she played Babs Bunny. Yeah, this fire one. Oh, I like it when it spins. It does better things with the fractals. Yeah, this will be at least a 3. There's all the kind of cool energy stuff happening here. It feels very sci-fi. Green plasma. I dig it. Leviathan Mist knows what's up. Babs Bunny. She's... Dot Warner is also pretty classy and cute. 100%. She brought a lot to that whole Yakko, Wacko, and Dot trio. It's a much needed dose of estrogen with those two horny boys. Although I also identified with their whole hello nurse thing. But you shouldn't actually do that in public because that's like sexual harassment and stuff. Hey Google, who is the voice of Dot Warner? It is Tress MacNeille! Leviathan Mist nailed it! Tress MacNeille has done a lot of great stuff. I watch all kinds of cartoons, and I'm just like, there's Tress MacNeille, there's Tress MacNeille. She's one of my favorite voices to spot. Her and Frank Welker, and oh. Who are some of my other favorites? Jim Cummings? I mean, you're talking about a guy who can do Winnie the Pooh and Darkwing Duck. That's sick. That is range. Oh my god, how could I forget the best one ever, though? Rob Paulson? Rob Paulson is my childhood. Rob Paulson, I love Rob Paulson so much. Mighty Max? Raphael from the original Ninja Turtles? Rob Paulson has done so many good voices, it's crazy. I think it's Rob, R-O-B, Rob Paulson. And I always remember because of the Fight Club thing, you know, his name is Robert Paulson, except his name isn't Robert Paulson, it's just Rob Paulson. My voice is totally going and I dislike it. Gotta get up there again. Should be up here. Gotta train that stuff. This is like Rocky doing marathon training up in here, except I'm doing it with my voice. It's just kind of spinning in the background now. I'm not crazy about Kingdom Hearts as a game. I'm pretty much on board with Jim Sterling with some of the kind of stuff that he was saying about it. But there's some catchy music. Some catchy music there. Hey, thanks, History Buff. Yeah, it's just, you know, a matter of making it happen. You know, accepting where I'm at, accepting when I fall short of my ideals, and just bring myself back up there. Just working on it. And who knows, you know, what I will like to do with my voice 3 or 5 years from now. I'm working on a hypnosis file, and one of the key messages is how important it is to work toward a goal or an ideal, but how equally important it is to hold in your heart the understanding that your ideal is going to change, and that's just natural, and it's important not to be like stuck on an old concept of what your ideal is, and being able to continue to evolve fluidly, basically. Again, we're coming back to Bruce Lee saying, be like water. I don't know if this is gonna make it. There's things that I like about it, but it's kind of simple, what I see happening here. So I think it's not gonna make it. You know, I kind of like this. but I also really like the idea of what it's gonna do in transition with other presets. So for instance, check this out. You know, look at that crazy transition that it did. And that's a faster transition too. That's not as gradual as the ones that I actually have programmed into the way it's actually going to work. So yeah, we'll keep that.
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting, uw partner in hostingdiensten.
History Buff says, okay, I wasn't thinking that a person needed to program screensavers, but that is just me. So, are you talking about what I'm doing right now? With the way I'm rating them and stuff? I'm just trying to make sure I know what you mean. Yeah, okay. So, these are not actually screensavers. These are visualizer presets in a program called Milkdrop 2. And Milkdrop 2 is a plugin that works with several different digital playback devices. I'm using it with Winamp because I like to keep things classic. I've got a lot of nostalgia for that Winamp, so we do that. So, I'm using this visualizer along with these music streams that I have currently, and I'm hoping to find some other ones as well, for kind of the warm-up and cool-down time with my stream. And it's just really important to me to have the right kind of aesthetic feeling and the right kind of vibe. So I'm going for certain kinds of feelings. I'd like people to feel somewhat slightly confused, a little bit entranced when they tune in to Inkstream. Just a for example, Leviathan Mist says, Winamp, Winamp, Winamp. It really whips the llama's ass. Watch. True story. That's the dictionary definition of Winamp, actually, and it tells you everything you need to know about it, and what it is, and how it works, and what it does. It really whips the llama's ass. It really does. Whoa, I really like these colors. What it's doing here with the colors is nice. Is it really a 3 though? I don't know. So, by rating these presets, it's going to affect how often they come up in the randomize, because I can hit R and it goes preset order is now random, preset order is now sequential, and I know it's just a thing. I'm just into it. You know, I'm just trying to. I have a lot of limitations. I don't know a lot of programming. I don't have a lot of computer gear or finances for computer gear or finances to hire somebody for instruction or to design graphics or any of the cool stuff that really good streams have. So I'm just trying to do like what I can do to bring a unique character to the stream, to bring any kind of degree of production quality to it, and like polish and interesting stuff. So Yeah, History Buff says, I'm glad you have this option then. Thank you, History Buff. It's good to have options. And I just finally got this kind of unlocked because the presets were like saved in a folder that was like locked for administrator access, and couldn't figure out what the heck was going on with that. But I finally got a friend of mine on Twitter who was able to take a while with me and look into it. So here we are, we're doing it. Hey, Leviathan Mist found me on Twitter. That's super duper. God, I love Rydia. She's so precious. Super precious. Her whole story arc and her whole, like, demeanor. God. Talk about goth GF goals. For real. Yeah, that's a good 3. Dark and Shiny said who? Oh, Rydia is a main character from Final Fantasy IV, aka Final Fantasy II in the US on the Super Nintendo originally. Leviathan Mist says, not gonna lie, adult Rydia was my biggest video game waifu. I mean, that's valid? Seriously, like I'm trying to think of other top tier video game waifus, like maybe Harley from Chrono Cross, or Sada from Chrono Trigger. I don't. Jeez. Reese from Seiken Densetsu 3. I'm gonna look that up because it's been a long time since I played through Seiken Densetsu 3. What? I just looked up the name and I saw some high-heeled shoes. Tiffany Reese, the Siren. Sorry, I'm weak for heels. Seiken Densetsu. Oh my god, yes, she's so pretty though, and strong. Cute outfit. I love this picture that's got like the colorful. I'm gonna post this in the pretty media room on my Discord. I love this one. Here we go, pretty media. Boom, get that in there. Ugh, I hate it when they do that. Like, download image. Neat. There we go. Oh my god, yeah, there's like pinks and purples and greens. She's so cute. Wow. Good call, Leviathan Mist. Dark and Shiny says, you know, I hear this term waifu. Where does it come from? Leviathan Mist says, it's basically how Japanese people say wife. Dark and Shiny says, I thought that was it. Thank you. Holy guacamole! History Buff says, waifu originates as a Japanese borrowing and rendering of the English word wife. Evidence for the term in Japanese dates back to at least the 1980s, when some younger Japanese people may have adopted wife as an alternative to the gender limitations implied by the traditional term kanai, which literally means inside the house. Waifu developed a more specialized meaning in English-speaking anime and manga culture, however, in the 2000s. In the 2002 anime Azumanga Daioh, some students find a PH. It got cut off, but it's great. History buff with the history buffing. Maximum. I enjoyed that. like the song. Oh, it's really dreamy. Speaking of dreamy music, are there any fans of like dream pop and shoegaze music up in here? Cause there's a whole radio station online called DKFM. Like the letters DKFM, but it sounds like Decay FM. Cause decay is like a whole shoegazer kind of concept. History Buff says Donkey Kong FM. To be honest, that was my first thought when I saw it. But no, it's more like My Bloody Valentine. I don't know who else are good names to drop. Cocteau Twins, maybe? Some of Lush's stuff is really dream poppy, but some of their other stuff is just poppy. But Lush has a lot of great songs. I really like Lush a lot. And what a band name, you know? For real. See, this color palette makes me so happy, but it's just like this weird feather thing happening. I don't understand what Flexi's obsession with the feathers are. Like, then again, I don't understand a lot of like Native American iconography, so I don't know. It's not gonna make it. No, goodbye, bye. Dislike. Ooh. Now this is what ink is talking about. Dark and Shiny says, I wish I could say I was into it. Like, I know, right? I feel like obviously there's a lot there. Like, there's a lot of interesting things about corvids, I'm sure, in some, you know, it's like some groupings, so to speak, or some different, like, tribal areas and stuff. And corvids are awesome. They're so freaking smart, it's ridiculous. I wish corvids would be my friend. It makes me sad every time I see them, and I'm like, if one is like standing around like on a rail or something like that by the side of the road, and I just want to make friends, and they're like not interested. Maybe they can tell how needy I am and they just don't like it. That's valid. Ooh! That was really cool. I like that. You can do that again and stuff. Oh my god, so intense! Into the infinite! With this music? It's called Illumination and everything? So just for anybody who doesn't know, illumination as a concept is a big part of my religion. It has a deep amount of meaning and significance, and it's applicable in a lot of ways. Which is interesting too, because a lot of my fetishism has to do with the dark. Very interesting. I like how this one's called reality tunnel. That's a term straight from Robert Anton Wilson. Science fraction, cute. I don't like that I can see this feather shape again. I'm not about it. I don't know, it's not my thing. This is really good. I like this a lot. So just so everybody knows, I'm going to wrap up in about a half an hour. And probably do this some more tomorrow. I could be on for a really long time tomorrow, honestly. It's a possibility. Get up, do my fitness routine, do my voice training. Do a heck load of streaming. History Buff says, so the connection between fetish and dark seems somewhat traditional. That is very apt. I think that is frequently the case. But what's interesting is there's almost been kind of a reaction to the standard in fetishism. So now you also have people who are like angelophiles. And then like the angelophilia has actually like then further developed into kind of its own kind of corruption of fetishism. Really fascinating. And I'm here for it. I'm totally down for like angelic beings who radiate an aura that you can't resist, that just like makes you good and obedient. I need to stop. I can't get totally wrapped up in all that here on the Twitch, I think. I'm still memorizing all of the terms of service and stuff. I don't want to be non-compliant. I want to be compliant. Okay, I'm being really bad. Seriously though, if anybody didn't know exactly, I am a Switch. You could totally play Breath of the Wild on me. That's how much of a Switch I am. This is pretty neat. Yeah, I'll make that a 2. Flexi made a heckin' tons and tons of these presets, you know, lots of deviations or what's the word I'm thinking of? Let's see. Variations on themes, variations on models. Likes his boxes and feathers. I'm presuming the gender because, you know, Tech World, circa the aughts, I don't know. Of course, how many supposedly cis guy programmers were actually trans girl eggs? We'll never know. So many eggs throughout history that never got cracked. Very sad. There's your, you know, the suicide rate again. Definitely a thing. I don't know if I'm crazy about this one or not. I like this song, but it's too quiet. Okay, now, this is... You can count on Overclocked Remix to have stuff that really covers the full equalizer dynamic range. Yeah, you know, you just saved that one. Good job. Ooh! I gotta tell you, I've been enjoying Overclocked Remix since at least 2000 or so, I think. Close to it anyway. Really close. What a great community. History Buff says, humans have wonderful imaginations. I mean, you summed it up. And the imagination is so important. You know, how are we going to get ourselves out of these political quagmires we're in today? We have to imagine a solution. How are we going to get the maximum amount of enjoyment out of hypnosis? Imagination. There's a really good song called Imagination too. J-pop song I like a lot. I'll have to post it sometime. I don't know about this preset though. I think they're going for like a Sonic the Hedgehog kind of a vibe, which I appreciate, but
Deze stream wordt mede mogelijk gemaakt door Ice Hosting, uw partner in hostingdiensten.
maybe leave it at a 1. Pretty cool. I like that one. See, here we have a variation on that feather thing where he's clearly just made 2 feathers that, or actually it's a mirror function. There's one feather pointing to one side or the other, and then there's a mirror that reflects it. So, yeah. It's not gonna make it. When Monopolies Were the Future. That's a really cool title. Dark and Shiny says, it's an astral stingray. Yeah, I think maybe some of those presets are specifically for like tripping on. Like if somebody's actually doing LSD or something in that vicinity. But yeah, I don't know about all that. I've never partaken of hallucinogens myself, and I can't say I encourage anyone to. But I'm going to elect also to not discourage anyone from doing it. But, you know, a lot of people would say you shouldn't. So, I don't know. I'm just talking because I'm on Twitch, you know. It's a thing. Sometimes we can't always say exactly what we want to say. Whatever, you know. It's their world, we're living in it. Working with infinity. Super cool. Interesting palette here of the pink and the green and the blue. History Boff says, very drone camera. You mean like an unmanned aerial vehicle? Kind of, weapon? Aerial weapons? Yeah. Yeah. Those suck. I hate them. This is pretty cool. Hey, we got past the Flexi files. We got through them all. Congratulations to us. Oh, this is very... It's kind of a mix between Koyaanisqatsi and something by John Williams. What do you think? Dark and Shiny says, my mom just called. I got her a Squishmallow and it showed up today. That sounds great. I don't know what a Squishmallow is, but sounds cute. I think I might actually leave this in a 3. It's pretty good. Oh, this has X-Files vibes all over it. Super cool. Dark and Shiny says a Squishmallow is a stuffed animal. Hey Google, show me some Squishmallows. Why would you assume that I want video? I want images. Squishmallow. Oh my god, those are so squishy and kawaii! Oh my gosh, there's this cute happy face cat one. And like a rainbow prismatic unicorn sheep. And a little Nemo fish. Oh my gosh, they are super kawaii. I'm into it. Yep. That's great, Dark and Shiny. Get him big enough to hug? I would want like a really big one. I would want one that was like 4 foot diameter, probably. Maybe even 4.5. Because I want to get my arms around it and then like really squeeze. Because I'm pretty strong. I can do a lot of squeezing. Yeah, it's very, very John Williams sounding here. It's not often that we upvote these presets, but here we are. This one is definitely at least a 3, I think, right now. Love them pastels. That was probably one of the best choices I made on the Discord, too, actually, was when I was designing it, and I had set up most of the security access levels and stuff. And then I was looking at it and I realized that they were all like standard colors, you know, like the primary and secondary, like standard colors. And I thought, how many servers are there that have just got standard colors? I need to make this more femme, but I can't have everything be pink. Then I thought, pastels. Let's get this pastel up in here. And I did. And I like picked out those hex code colors by myself. Whew! Not gonna lie, I'm a little insecure about that. But I think they came out pretty good. History Buff says pastels totally work for that. Awesome. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, they seem to be working out really well. And they really add to the feel and the character of the server and my whole ink domain kind of thing. Because if you can think of like black, shiny, oily, with like pastels rippling across it and stuff, like you're getting close to visualizing ink. Oh shit, Dark Yet Shiny. Yeah. Dark Yet Shiny says, I figured it out. This music reminds me of Steve Reich. That's a really good reference, by the way. Steve Reich is interesting. I think I need to change it up and see what this does. Baten Kaitos Origins. Cool. Yeah, I think a 2 is good. The way it goes in and out feels a little excessively sexual to me. So we're just gonna keep it a little down. Yeah, okay. Alright, we're gonna do one more after this. We're gonna finish the Fs, and then we're gonna wind down the stream for tonight. Because when I get to the beginning of a new letter in the alphabet, that's really easy to remember. And we'll pick it up tomorrow, most likely. So I want to get this done before I stream any more games. Although, I don't know, I'll make up my mind. I'll probably balance it somewhat. History Boss says, Baten Kaitos was fun to watch. I got stuck playing it right after the Maker cards. I know nothing about Baten Kaitos. I've heard the name sometimes, so I can't say much. Dark and Shiny says, it was a good game. Great art, solid gameplay. Solid! Super solid. Yeah, very Steve Reich. This is very minimalist. And then it's not anymore. I don't know, it's interesting. Oh, pretty. I'm really on the fence with this one. I'm not sure if this preset is a 1 or a 2. The colors get a bit muted, you know? They kind of bleed together a lot. They're not as vivid. I think it's gonna be a 1. Yeah. And this is where we will be next time, I think. Geist, Flexi, and Stalgren. I'm gonna write this down. You know what's the greatest invention? Since the invention of the pencil? I bet somebody in my chat can get this answer right. What's the greatest invention since the invention of the pencil? Boom, boom. Dark Yet Shiny gave us 2 answers. The ballpoint pen or the eraser. And yes, the eraser was the answer we were looking for. It gets nudged out above the pencil strictly on the basis that it is the name of Tom York's first solo album. But yeah, erasers are great. I'm glad we have erasers. super glad. Alright, so, any questions last minute or anything anybody wants to say before we put an end to everything? Gameplay concluded. We didn't really play a game. Played a game with your minds. You'll always wonder what suggestions I planted in your weak, ineffectual minds. History Buff says, "No, I'm just glad to hear you." Aw, History Buff, you're such a sweetie. What a sweetie. Sweetie billabombidi boopadoop. I'm a little goofy right now, sorry. Yeah, it's really great to see you, gosh. It's good to hear from y'all, because sometimes I wonder how you're holding up. And I hope that, you find a new place to move to, and that it goes well. If it could be good. Dark Yet Shiny says, "I'm good. I'm gonna try Final Fantasy IV after this." Awesome! Yeah, I need to figure out which ROM hack I want to play, because I'm looking into different hacks that, like, optimize the game. Nothing crazy. Like, I don't want, like, a completely different game. I just, I'm hoping to find something that just kind of optimizes it a bit, the way that Grant's Final Fantasy did for FF1. But yeah, just like baseline suggestion is to try to get a game that's closer to the original Japanese version, because when they ported it to the US, they did something really simple to make it a lot easier. I'm trying to remember what that was. It was something like they just halved the HP of enemies, or did something to buff your stats or something, but it's kind of easy in the US version. So if you can get a ROM hack that restores the kind of Japanese settings, and maybe has a new translation, because the original translation was by this guy. And I think it's the same guy that translated Chrono Trigger. Yeah. You spoony bard. Let me look on Wikipedia. I just, I don't want to... I hate it when I get facts wrong. So I don't like spreading around misinformation. North American localization. Huh. I'm not seeing a name here, but yeah, the original English translation is a bit goofy, so yeah, try to find a different translation. Spoony Bard is fun. Yeah, I'll be seeing you, that's for sure. I don't know how much I'm going to be talking and stuff tonight. But, yeah, I was around. Thanks for joining, everybody, little inklings. And, as always, take care of yourselves, be excellent to others, and smash the fash. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna watch the Venture Brothers now. I've been on a Venture Brothers kick. Can be problematic for sure, but pretty entertaining show. Pretty entertaining. Good animation. It's fun. There's usually a lot going on in it, so yeah. Okay. Catch you next time. Bye!